Bonjour.
Hello everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new preview video, and here we take a look at the Emil 1951, a tier 8 Swedish premium heavy tank. Wargaming announced that this tank was entering testing a couple of minutes ago, and therefore we can expect it in probably one or two updates, or maybe it's gonna come right before the update uploading and allowing us to get the Kranwagen, for example, because usually that's how Wargaming works. They implement first a premium tank of the upcoming branch that looks similar to the playstyle of the already existing branch, and after they implement the branch. So maybe we will have this tank before the Kranwagen line. But enough talking now, we need to focus on what are the characteristics. Is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be bad? I'm gonna do the whole preview for you, the stats, the armor profile, so you know what to expect about this tank when it's gonna come in the shop. First, let's talk about the gun a little bit. It's an autoloader, 3 shells, 310 alpha damage per shell, 2.75 seconds of reload between shells, and around 20 seconds of whole reload for the clip, and 930 alpha damage every time you burst all your shells. And you burst them out pretty quickly because it will take you 5.5 seconds. Now let's talk a little bit probably about the gun dispersion. The gun dispersion of this tank is really bad, and that's why it's underperforming in terms of gun handling. But if you manage to get it to close combat, it shouldn't be a problem. But yet, even if the gun handling is bad, there are plenty of things that will probably make this tank a really competitive tier 8. And the main one is probably the armor profile. I'm gonna tell you why. This tank has an effective armor of more than 200mm on the turret. I can't give you exact statistics because we don't know yet how Wargaming wants to implement the tank, and the regular statistics are not out yet. But I can tell you one thing. This tank has 12 degrees of gun depression, and also this tank has an amazing turret armor. And if you combine both and you manage to put it under a mountain on ridge lines or anything like that, using your gun depression to hide your hull and only showing your turret, you are gonna have an amazing armor for a tier 8. You can climb up to more than 300mm of armor, and at some points on the tank more than 400. So yeah, overall this is gonna be an all-down king if you manage to play correctly, and that's what is the strength of the whole new Swedish line, the Kranwagen. I used Armor Inspector to highlight to you the strength of the turret, 256mm of effective armor, not angled, because the tank turret is already angled, you're gonna see after. Here I put my gun 12 degrees of gun depression below, and just look at the beast if you manage to hide. 334mm of effective armor. Not a single tier 8 is gonna go through. Some tier 9s are gonna go through, but they're gonna struggle, and even if you have, as you can see here, quite a weak spot, it's not really gonna be a problem, simply because it's quite hard to hit it. Now overall 206mm also on the upper part of the turret, and as always the weak spot is the lower part of the hull. So yeah, overall the rest of the tank is paper, and everybody's gonna go through with HE. So with this tank you need to stay in front of your opponents all the time without trying anything like side scrap. You need to stay in front, you need to be held down, you need to show only your turret, and that's gonna be the same thing for every single one of the Swedish heavy tanks. So to make them effective, be sure you have some map knowledge on where to place a tank that is in hold down. Finally, I think we should talk a little bit about the mobility of the tank. It's a heavy tank, it's a Swedish one, and Swedish have actually a pretty good ratio, horsepower-ton ratio, you know. So yeah, with this tank, you should have a good mobility that will allow you to take advanced position at the beginning of games. If it's the case, this tank is simply gonna be amazing. Because just imagine, at the beginning of a game, you take your tank, you go around 40-45 kilometers per hour if you properly equip it, and you manage to take an advanced hold-down position. But if you block the way with more than 334mm of effective armor on a hold-down position, nobody will try you, simply because nobody at tier 8 wants to take a 930 alpha damage burst. Therefore, this tank is going to be able to shield a whole flank by himself. And that's what is going to be extremely OP about the upcoming Kranwagen line, but I'm going to talk about that in another video. But I'm completely expecting the Kranwagen to power creep the shit out of both the T-57 Heavy and the MX-50B. That's it for this quick update on what is coming soon in the game. Hope you enjoyed. I would be curious if you can tell me in the comments what you think about this tank. Does it have its place in World of Tanks Blitz or not? I'm gonna see you soon for a new video, probably on the Kranwagen preview. I don't know if I'm gonna do it today or tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like and share, and see you soon for a new preview video.